Hi, I'm back and I got a new hairdo. You know, it's been a while since I wanted to film like a new video for my video journal channel. It really has been a while, and I think this is one of the point where I have so much time to reflect and to think about the things. So you know, and this is the point when oh shit, my maybe I should just get my what it was like my because it's covering the sides of. Hold on. There we go. It's a little low. Like I guess that's okay. Maybe I should just sit down. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is a weird angle, but there's like a lighting. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good lighting. Um, yeah. Okay. It's a pretty good lighting, like right there. So anyway, just like I was saying, I have time to reflect, and I think it's a good time for me to do one of these videos again, you know? Because, first of all, I think this is like a calm before the storm. That's exactly what I feel right now. And I think this is a good time for me to process my grieving over my late grandmother. Okay? But first, let's get on with whatever that comes to mind. Okay, first, I am not like kind of like happy, playing games anymore. I have to turn up the AC. I got an AC now. Hold on. Okay. So I turned up the AC from 28. I know from 30. You cannot. You can see it right there. From 30 to 28. I'm so very grateful of my mother because all I do is complain and she just. I mean, if I wanted like to live like a decent person, it's really not like livable inside of my room since it's like very hot. It does really get hot in here. So yeah. Anyway, I got an AC. It was pretty good, and yeah, I got DVD. I bought it for like 270 pesos. So because I wanted to play it, and it was I actually enjoyed playing it. It's just that you know it just catches up, I would say, with the general feeling of me kind of like burnt out of playing games. So yeah, that's that. I also play Dota 2. Fucking hate that game. My friend Gab, he's addicted to like one of the arcade mode. It's called Custom KS Heroes. I would say that it's kind of like TFT, but it's not TFT. It's not this game. It's not like you know what I mean. It's not this game where you would strategize and like put on these little boxes. No, no, no. But it's similar in the way that you have to manage your money. In this game, you bet, and you get betted on. Yeah, and you get random skills, and you have to make, you have to, yeah, you have to work on those skills. Work with those skills. Work with what would you have. Anyway, I know this is like a new look for me, and I wish that I have a better camera, but I think this just adds to like the ambience of the video journals. Let's turn down the brightness, I guess. Oh, I can do that. I did not know. Okay, I think that's good. Is that too dark? I think that's good. Yeah. I have to wait. Hold on. There we go. I think that's better. I think this is 100% better. Yeah. About my hairdo, I have. It does not really show on the roots. Oh my god, I'm not even sure if it can. Let me see on my camera. But yeah, My hair is really brown. Like, look at this. I posted a TikTok of me eating uh, the spaghetti that I made because I craved some spaghetti. So yeah, last night I cut my hair. This hair is really growing on, like, I already requested because this is an overgrown hair before. Like when I was reviewing for the let exam, oh, that was so redundant. When I was reviewing for the let period, uh, my hair was just growing, and after that, it was like pure unemployment until now, of course. Like 2 months, and then I decided to cut my hair. No, 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 no. To get my hair cut. Yeah, to get a haircut because Rissy and I were going to meet. It's one of my best friends. It's Gab and Rissy. So yeah, it was. I needed to get my hair cut because I wanted. That's what I always want. That's how I express myself. Every time. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Every time that I go outside, I like something to be new. Or I would just say that whenever I want something about my outside expression to be new, it is when I have not gotten out for in a while, and that's what happened. It's been a while since I got out. At the time, it was the intramurals of my school, and I just graduated, right? So now that's why I wanted a change. So I told the barber to um to make it a mullet. This is even like not how it looks before, but it really does look good now. You can literally see, like, if I go like this. And I dyed my hair last night uh, brown. It's called intense dark golden brown, or intense golden dark brown. No, it's intense dark golden brown, which is like the color that I always go for. And I cut my bangs. It might look like I have a little micro bangs, but I like it that way. It's just above my eyebrows. But if you like really just go like this, that is like the thing about bangs. You really have to be careful about it because if you go and like flatten your bangs like this and go like this, when you take off your hand and makes it's gonna be up here. It's gonna be up here, just like mine. You know, since that's just how my work, my work. That's just how my hair works, I guess. Anyway, and I cut the sides here, like you can see how fresh that looks. I mean, there's still like the hair, you know, overlapping the ear, but I cannot really. This side is like really good though. Like at the back of the ear, I don't really have to tamper with that or cut, because that's like the point of the mullet, to have this length built behind. But I really had to cut like around here, so I had like the the scissor that I the same scissor that I used to cut my pubes. There we go. I'm getting too comfortable here. Anyway, it's so, yeah, and that scissor is so not sharp. It's dull. Is that the word for not sharp? Yeah, it's very dull because it has a rust. And it's the only scissor that I got here. I literally got like a scissor, like a good scissor that I intentionally put in my room because I was like, yeah, I own this now, you know. But it's fucking gone. I think my mom got. I think my mom like got it or something, and it never got returned here. I kind of like stole that, but you know what I mean. But it was such a good scissor. Anyway, enough about that. I'm really proud. That's how I feel. I'm really proud of how I did because it's literally the first time that I actually tried to cut my hair. And the reason being is that I was just so bored last night. Like until now, I'm still fucking bored. And you know, during these times, like a normal day, I would just play something like Dota 2 League, and with Gab, of course, with Gab, and we would call, and it would be just brain rot. It was his birthday yesterday, and you know, God bless his soul. Anyway, those are like things, and I'm getting sick of that, and I understand why, because uh I have so much going on, like this week, like next week, tomorrow I'm getting my finally my teeth, my second molars, my second molar, because the first molars I also got extracted, and now on the left side of, yeah, on the left side of my face. Is it still the left side? Yeah, it's still the left side because I'm facing this way. Anyway, the left side of the rack of the teeth, the second molar, it needs to be taken out because, you know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. It's been affected for a while, and it's I'm just waiting for it. Like I'm just not caring. Okay, I'm just not caring for it in a way that, you know, like it's not like I'm waiting for it to be so bad, because I know that some people's molar, that they just get rotten, but for some reason they never like have this pain where when like a grain of rice hits like the middle of the molar, it doesn't hurt. That doesn't happen to them. Maybe it's just me, I don't know, because it's this one, and the one behind it, it's not called the third molar. Maybe it's called the third molar, technically it's the third molar, but it is the wisdom tooth. So that's why I still have two. You can see the first molar are both gone, and on this left side, I got that removed like when I was like second year or third year. So I was like, it was like 2 years ago, I would say 2 3 years ago. So yeah, and I already suspected this one's gonna be next, and this one's gonna be next. So I really hope I could do something about it. I mean, we could do something about it tomorrow. We're gonna get it extracted, right? And we're gonna wait 1 month, and then I'm gonna have dentures, and I'm actually kind of like really excited for the dentures. You know what I mean? Because I have something on my teeth now, and it's good. It's good for eating. I mean, my mom says that. I know my mom has like, and I got it from my mom. This type of teeth where my molars are just kind of like really prone to cavity because of how big it is, you know. And my mom doesn't have any molars, like not a single molars. They're all gone, and she, I used to remember that she had like dentures for it, like the four molars. She had dentures for that, and I guess she's just doesn't wear it anymore. That was like when I was young. So now, it's like I'm gonna have that. And it's not just for eating. The purpose of the dentures is actually to protect the top molar. So, like, I should have gotten like dentures like the moment I got these two extracted. The first two molars, no, the first molar of both sides of my teeth. I should have gotten dentures because the top, like the counter part, or like, the one that's adjacent, like this is the down molar and this is the top molar. The top molar doesn't have anything to grind to for something. So now that there's like two molars gone, the upper two molar, they don't have nothing to grind to. So that is kind of like harmful. It's gonna change how my face looks. Like it's gonna be ugly. That's it. So I need to get that, to get dentures. So yeah, and that's because a root canal is like, let's just say, really expensive. Like I don't have any money. I don't have adult money yet. I mean, my mom is willing to spend on me, buy me things, but she's not really gonna spend like 8 to 10K over like one tooth of root canal, and it takes like, I don't know, like 3 months in total. It's split into multiple sessions. The dentist told me it's gonna be split into multiple sessions. It's not gonna be onto one sitting and it's done. No, it's gonna cost much, and it's gonna cost uh time, So that's not really cute, I guess. So yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not really getting bummed, and like because I put sentiment. Sorry, my nose got itchy. Like I really like to put sentimental things about literally anything that's part of me. And one of those, of course, and let's just say like I put sentimental value over my teeth, my fucking molar that I'm not even taking care. Yeah, I don't even can take care of. I mean, I just don't have the money. That's all. But yeah, I brush my teeth like twice a day, and I even got like a good toothpaste that the dentist recommended. But it's fucking late now. But nothing is ever late. After the extraction tomorrow, I'm still gonna have 3 more molars. I'm gonna get my dentures like a month later, and like 2 days after the extraction, I literally no, just one, two. Yeah, like 2 days after the extraction, I have a passport appointment with my cousins, and that's like the part where I'm not gonna be at home. I'm not gonna be at home anymore. Well, that's cute. You know what I mean? I would want that, but I really have to prepare for the things that I need to bring. And one of those is makeup. Of course, I'm gonna talk about makeup right now because I've been talking about it in my adaptive daydreaming, and I was like, maybe I should just film this because it's something worthwhile, to film or something. So yeah, my hair stinks. It really stinks right now. I mean, I literally I literally rinsed it properly. I even put conditioner on my hair after, and then I brushed my hair. I can't even find my brush anymore. But yeah, I brushed my hair and put Vitris. This one, okay, it's a hair oil for it to not be so dry. But that's like one of the things. But it's the care after like literally burning my scalp off because I used a 12% oxidizer. You need to use a 12% oxidizer. If you want to ask me, I'm not like an expert of hair coloring and shit, but I have uh like it's a regular thing for me. Like I need my hair to not be black because I hate it. I feel like I'm ugly when my hair is black. Hold on, I'm gonna drink my meds. Oh no, it's not here. It's outside. Right. Maybe I should get it now. I'm gonna pause it for a while. Hold on. And I got these things. I got my meds and I got some grapefruit. Is it grapefruit? It's called pomelo. I don't know what's it. I'm not sure about the English term. Okay, this thing is antibiotic. Yeah, it's antibiotic for my teeth. I should have gotten the extraction like yesterday, but the dentist, she wasn't around because he had to bury her grandma. Speaking of, we buried my grandma like it was long, like 3 weeks ago. That was in November 20 something. She died on November 9. And to be honest, I'm still in the process of grieving over her. I miss her so much, and that she's like the type of person. Like let's just say that even though she's really old, like I could still, like she's really old and she has so much consciousness. that now she's gone, now that my nanay is gone, that's how I call her, my lola. Now that she's gone, I feel like her consciousness is still somewhere. You know what I mean? That's just how strong her fighting spirit is. She had to go to the hemodialysis sessions, you know. Most of the times I was there, like, taking care of her. It was a huge part of my college life that I had to tend to her. That, it's a perfect time actually to be multitasking. Look at that hole. To be multitasking, and you know, and I don't get why this thing is so fucking smelly. It smells like farts. Hold on. And I got water from the faucet. So, thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot. I was referencing that video. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like, why do I feel guilty? I think it's just normal. When someone dies, if you're like the immediate family, you just feel guilty. Sorry? You just feel guilty in a way that, it's like I could have spent more time with her because I pretty much literally just go on with my review session for like 3 months. Like literally after I finished school, not even after I graduated, I started the review. I started the review, like a month. Yeah, like a month before the graduation. Not even a month. It's May, June, July. Yeah, May, June, July. Like almost 2 months before my graduation, I was already reviewing for the exam, and I need to take a shit. Oh my god. Okay, I'm done pooping. There's so much going on with this video. Anyway, where was I? So yeah, like losing my grandma is like losing a part of this house, and it's like, at that time when I also lost my cousin. It's like two two family members just gone. Like two family members from this house, living used to live in this house, now is gone. You know, and it just feels so empty. It's just the three of us now. Like back then, I could never fathom that my grandma would like die. But now I guess, I'm so sorry. I'm not about to cry. But now I guess, yeah, it could really happen. And like when I was there, we would always get, it was 10 days actually, 10 days of her wake. So we would go there. The wake was like in a chapel. Like it's the same. It's a chapel where, they would just deal with all the death things, like the casket and all that. It's business. So we would go there every single day, and yeah, I would go there and meet up with some of our relatives, and it was just so surreal. Sorry, it was just so surreal that I feel like it's a job for me to get there. No, it's a job for me to go there. It's not really a job. Like I went there, and I always see her in her casket and all that. But you know, that's like the thing about wake though. Like it really helps with grief, but it's so vague on how you should process death, because I would say that death is like something that, you know like is not really easy to process, because even though the wake where your relatives, like there's a lot of people, and you're like, my grandma is just there laying on her casket. It feels a little less lonely, and it really is good for grieving. you know you're mourning, and there's like a lot of people, so that kind of like fills the void of the emptiness of grief. So you could literally just feel the emptiness of the grief after you buried someone. And that's how I felt. But I think that the messed up part that I did, like, it's so fucked up, is that I literally was palpitating. Like, my heart was palpitating. You know why? Because I was holding back my tears. And my tears never really, like, uncontrollably. I was controlling my tears for no reason at all. I mean, maybe a reason is that I didn't want to be vulnerable in public. But, I'm already vulnerable enough as a person. But you know, I did that. Like, for what reason? Why did I do that? And I was like, yeah, let's just get through this. I cannot cry. My eyes was just really tearing up. It was so red, and my eyes was just so, it's just full of tears. It was so heavy, and that's what I did. It just felt like I was just breathing in and out, and I was, my there's like mucus coming out of my nose, and like my eyes is just so heavy and all that. So yeah, and yeah, my heart was palpitating in a way that's not really, like, I just knew in that moment. I realized what I was doing, and what was I doing was not good. I knew that it was not good. I knew that I should have let it out, for the last time, but I cannot possibly do do it. Like, especially at the time, at the time where I'm in that situation. So, I've had my fair share of crying, because I would say that, like, if you know me as a person, you would see that I can be reactive over things. Sorry. But in reality, I'm not reactive. I'm very reflective, especially when dealing with all those major emotions like grief, sadness, anger, happiness. It occurs to me like when I'm alone, you know? At 10 p.m., I feel that. It's fucking psychosis. It's psychosis. That's how I feel every single night. The things that, or the emotions that I ever so suppressed. Why am I yawning? Oh my god, why am I yawning? Anyway, so yeah, those are the things about my grandmother. And now I'm still processing those emotions, because she's really gone. And, it's just like, the time when I was in college and she was going through the dialysis, that's why she stayed here, because at her house, no one could take care of her. So she stayed in our house, and my mom mainly took care of her. Like, I'm gonna take some credit too, of course, because, my mom can't do it all. She still has a job and all that. And, at the time, I was going to school, and the school is not that far. But, I was given the task and the obligation to take care of my mother, of my grandmother. And I didn't really see that as an obligation, and I just knew that it needed to be done. So, with that mindset where it doesn't feel like it's a job, then it doesn't really feel heavy. There wasn't a time that I was like, kind of like, yeah, I don't want to do this. Like, I hate your grandma. I don't want to do this anymore. No, I did not feel that negatively towards my grandmother, and how her situation was, and it was affecting my situation. I think it kind of like sucked before. I felt that, uh, like, I needed to go home before 5 p.m. or like exactly 5 p.m. Uh, even though my friends were like gonna are planning something to do something like during the around that time, I had to go home because I had to tend to my grandmother. You know what I mean? So I kind of like it sucked. It felt like it sucked, but I never blamed my grandmother for that. It just felt like, you know, I just felt like, oh, could it just be for tomorrow or, you know. So yeah, that's just how I feel about these things. And grief is something that you feel when you remind them of someone or something. It's mostly something, but you know, my mom and I, when we went to the mall, like yesterday, we could see like old people on wheelchairs, and you know, we would just remember. We both of us, we just remember, you know, the memories of my grandma being like that, and I just feel sad. You know, I accept my grandma's passing, but it still feels sad. It lingers. It's not something that, you know, grief is not something that you just, you know, it just passes by. I mean, that's just being human. Even though, you know, you're still processing your grief, you know, you should actually like take off some time to reflect, you know, especially when you have a job, when someone dies, someone special in your life dies, just like my mom. Uh, when her mother died, my grandmother, she deserved like at least a week of no work just to process everything, because it's not just about the feelings that need to be processed here. What the fuck am I doing with my legs? Anyway, it's not just the feelings that is needed to be processed here. More so than that, ow, that fucking hurts. More so than the feelings, I should just put my legs down. Anyway, more so the feelings, there are actually like a lot of things, financial things, and you know, like my aunts and my cousin really helped a lot with processing, you know, the burial, the wake, and like you really have to process the flowers. You need to tend to those. You need to pay for all those, and it's not cheap dying. You know, it's not. It's really not cheap. It's not cheap to bury someone and all that. You need to. So you need time. That's what I was saying. I'm losing point here, but my point is that, you know, grief isn't something that's you just have to carry. It needs time, or at least it needs like you know, a week of time off professionally and all that, just like maternity leave or something. Because you know what? Why would I think that? Is because, you know, that's just how it works now. You have a job, you still have to go to your job. You know, you could like, yeah, you could just be absent for one day, but the next day you have to come, you know, clock into your job. And even though you need time to reflect, you need time with your deceased loved one, it's like you still have to go to work, and you know, you have to fit that schedule, which is like after work. You know what I mean? So, you know, like your life, everything around you still goes on, and it will make sure that it will stay moving, even though something in your life, you know, something felt like like time stopped because your loved one is dead, or you know, has passed away, but everything else around you will make you still, it's the moving, of course. You know, I'm saying that because of course, it's no shit, everything is still moving around you. You're not, And not the world is not revolving around you. Yes, of course, that's given, but it will make sure that it's not revolving around you. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's how I feel. And you know, in the future, I really just want a job, and you know, like being in this house is really cool. And I kind of like promised myself, like when I was reviewing, it was like, like a plan for the betterment of like my physical body and all that. Like I wanted to go to the gym, but even though my my really close friend Jed wanted me to accompany him in the gym, I literally have a friend that I could go to the gym to. I mean, go to gym with, but I still postponed that. So, how much of a hypocrite I am? How much of a procrastinate, procrastinating weirdo should I be? Like, I am literally fucking hypocrite. Like, why did I not do that? And it's just natural to feel regrets, of course. I mean, I did kind of like had this really good routine like the first month. Yeah. Like, but it wasn't like, yeah, I mean, I jogged like every other day. Yeah, it was every other day, I think. Yeah, it wasn't every day because I do that like 5 a.m. in the morning. And yeah, because I wanted to be better. I wanted to not feel fat anymore. And it really worked, because I just ate like twice a day. But now I can't eat twice a day. You know why? Because I recently got fever from something. I don't know. But after that, I didn't even get the the I didn't get phlegm from that, because usually that's just like the seasonal flu, right? The symptoms of seasonal flu is phlegm, and it could be coming out of your nose, or you could cough it out. That's the let's just say like that's like the disease that I would just usually get every single year, but not fever, you know. So I'm kind of like banned from eating like twice a day now, and now I'm on fucking antibiotics again for this tooth, so it could come off, with no pain and all. So that's that. Anyway, what's keeping me happy is, I guess, makeup. Like, I have at the start, Gab introduced me to bronzer. Like he was like, "Yeah, you need bronzer," and I bought it. He bought it for me, and yeah, and I got it, and it was kind of like instinct to me to like makeup, because it's already on me. I bought my forever. It was only bronzer, by the way. It was literally only bronzer, and I remember I didn't have any brush, and I just put it with my hand, put it here. So I was really wasteful of of the bronzer. It was not cheap. It's not cheap. That little thing that comes in like this lipstick container, it's not cheap. Because that's what I got. It's Get Ready With Me Glam and Go sticks. It's a bronzer stick, and it's in the shade of, I forgot, toast. It's literally mm, the darkest one. I do think that I need like a uh darker shade than that, because that shade is pretty good, but I think that every shade of the Diamond Ghost stick uh bronzer stick is on the warmer side. It's very warm. It's somehow like mixed with red. And it's pretty good on here. Yeah. And I also put it like as an eyeshadow. Yeah, that's what I like about bronzer. I got another one. I was mentioning earlier. Yeah, I was mentioning it earlier, of it being like useless, because I really thought that it was a powdered bronzer, but it's not. It's also a cream bronzer, but it came on this little. It's still in like a little square palette, and I hate the packaging. Of course, you know they could have just made it individual. I mean, it's their way of marketing the case. You know, you could buy the case and put the individual boxes of little palettes, so you could somehow like customize your palette. But you know, that's not the case for me. I only need the blush. Yeah, I got a blush, and the blush is powdered, and the blush is amazing. I put blush like yesterday. Yeah, it was just yesterday, and I used to put it here, like under here, and that does not look good. It looks dirty on me. Maybe because I'm not fair skinned, you know? It doesn't go when it permeates, when my skin permeates, it is when like the makeup sets on your face. So, of course the bronzer looks good. The powder looks good, you know, you put that, and I also do some nose contouring, it looks good, but the blush, it makes like my face dirty, I would say. So I would just put it right here. Like there I have multiple blush. No, yeah, multiple brushes, and one of those I just use for my blush. And like the big one, I use that to it's really good at blending. And I also learned that I mean, I guess I did it right, but I think I just put too much. Like I should not put any product. Sorry. I should not put like any concealer like under here. Like it's like this shape, like from here to like here, because it will get cakey. And I think that's the reason. I think I still did it right. I have a concealer. It's a Maybelline eraser concealer, and it's really great. I got it 30% off. And like yesterday, I think I put too much under my eye. Under my eye, I don't even have any eye bags. Like, I literally don't have to put anything under there. I don't need to hide something. What I need to hide is like under here because it's a little dark. Um, and acne marks. That's the purpose of the concealer. And the concealer is in my shade. I would feel. No, it's in the shade. Like, thank God. It's shade 140. So yeah, and I got this thing. I'm gonna eat it after this, and my throat is getting tired, but I feel like I still have so much to say. So yeah, so those this like the makeup really does good. This does me good because I like look at the shadow of my face right now. There's a shadow here. There's a shadow here. There's a shadow here, here, and here and here. Those are where my makeup usually yeah those are where my makeup is at. So yeah, so when there's like a good lighting and when the light hits your face, it looks good. And I think what really makes my makeup good is when I contour my nose right here, and when I also put the bronzer on my eyelid like an eyeshadow. It looks so good. I swear. Like I love that. And of course, my bronzer that always goes here. I've learned so much about makeup and why do I use makeup. First of all, of course, it's to feel good and to feel like I'm doing something to elevate my my outer expression, like the outer side of me, which is my skin and my outer expression, my looks and all that. So if you think that's BS, like feeling good, it's just a waste of money because makeup is not cheap. Well, I need the powder. The powder is my holy grail, by the way. It makes me not be oily in the first 2 to 3 hours, which is really great, you know. But one thing I've noticed is that when I am inside of an air conditioned room, my face really gets cakey. I think it's because my face produces more oil on my T zones because this is where I usually oil, and like pretty much here, my nose kind of like gets oily right here, and of course here. Like literally all my face gets oily when it's cold because of course, I mean, when it's cold your face gets dry. And if you are an oily person like me, if you have oily skin type, I guess it produces like more oil, so your face doesn't feel dry. So cakey makeup is just as normal. But what I did yesterday, I put too much here that I blended it like here. So when it was like 3 hours later, yeah, it was like 3 hours later when we got there, we got to the mall. I noticed the separation of the makeup, of the concealer, and like of my skin, on my skin. It separates because it's very oily, and I think there's like too much. And of course, I said it. My like the powder is like an essential part of. I literally bake, and I feel like I should just bake for like I don't know, like a limited time, because if I could, I feel like I would bake for like 30 minutes. You know what I mean? That's why I put my makeup on like advanced because I need to bake. Because I feel like the longer you bake, the longer it's gonna absorb it to your skin's gonna absorb it, and you are going to be less oily, or the time that you're gonna get oily is less. So yeah, that's it. And I just feel like, when I mentioned earlier that I'm just waiting for the storm to come, I really wish that I could be a top notcher. And not just wish, I wish that it's not wishing. I know it's gonna happen. But, there are lapses that I should not be even thinking right now. I am aware. I'm aware that that could not happen. I'm aware that, me putting this expectation on myself would just lead me to disappointment if it doesn't happen. If the thing that I expect doesn't exactly happen. I am prepared for all of that. So, the thing that I'm doing now, I know what I'm doing. Me saying that, of course, I'm gonna get a top notch replacement. I'm gonna be top one. I'm gonna be top two. I'm gonna be top three. I'm gonna be top four. I'm gonna be top five. I'm gonna be top six. I'm gonna be top seven. I'm gonna be eight, nine, 10. I'm going to be a top notcher. That's because I put my mind into it, and that's the thing that I want so much. And the reason why I want that so much is the money. Because if you are a top notcher, they give you money. And for someone like me, I don't even have adult money. Like, if I check my wallet right now, like, I mean, there's money, there's like one, two, three, four, five. There's like 500 pesos in my wallet. But really, come on now. If I go out once, that 500 pesos is gonna be gone. Like, I kind of like have to make my mom pay for pretty much anything right now. So, it's still, I have a pride now where I feel like I should be helping around in my house. I should be earning now. But, those are held back by circumstances like waiting for the result. Because if I have the license, if I'm going to be a licensed professional teacher, then I can put that on my resume immediately. Like, immediately. So I could apply to schools. I want to be a college instructor. I want to be a college professor like my mother. So I could do that, because if I had done that like way before, then one of my friend Chan, she already moved. No, not moved. She's already teaching in Thailand. In Thailand, yeah, and you know is that's pretty much her. She already has a visa. I'm really glad for her because she wanted that so bad. And I think I feel envy because you know I don't really want to go to Thailand and teach, but I'm envy because she's already earning. She's already doing something with her life. You know, and I guess that's normal. That is just normal. I wouldn't say valid. I mean, because it's so fucking repetitive. You know, it's like saying, "Oh, that should be normalized," or "This should be normalized." It gets repetitive. So yeah, and yeah, I'm just really hoping for the best. And in December 11th, 12, and 13, I wish that I could have a good time with my cousin because we're gonna go to Davao and we're gonna celebrate her birthday. She invited me, and it sucks because I don't have any money. I mean, it's everything is paid for, of course, my food and all that, but my personal money. I just wish that I had personal money to spend on stuff there. I mean, I do. I still have like, if I could scrunch it up, like 1,300 pesos in total. That's like my net worth right now. And yeah, it's like, and I still have like a salary from my teaching job online. I have class at like 6:30 p.m. And yeah, it's just that. So what else? I think I'm gonna get like a good salary from that. Like, I don't know, like almost 2K. I just hope so. So yeah, it's a steady life. I don't have like, I really want a steady income so I could buy things for myself. Like, go, I really want to go to Risi in Davao too with my own money, with my own expenses and all that. I could go anywhere pretty much. I don't really fathom in going to like other countries and all that. I would want to, but if I would choose to go somewhere, I could just go anywhere here in Jensen all by myself. I would go on a nature trip, or I'll go somewhere and just jog there. But I just need some money. That's what I need for transportation and all that. I used to remember my late grandfather, the father of my father. He was like, you need money to have confidence. No money, no confidence. It's very right. He's very right because you really do need money to feel confident. When you don't have money, it's like it limits you on the things that you could do. It limits you on the places that you want to be. You can't really go there because you don't have enough money. It's going to be limited. Everything's going to be limited. So that sucks. But it's okay. I mean, Sia said cheap thrills, but girl, you know damn well you need money for everything. So yeah, I really wish that like everybody is healthy. My mother's healthy. My family's healthy, and like everything goes smoothly. Everything is according to how I think it should have gone. Like, there are things that just you never expected that to happen, but it's a good thing that happened. And when you try to justify it, oh, it's a good thing that happened. And there's some things that really you know should not happened in the first place, that you just have to question, like, out of all things that's gonna happen, why did it happen? So yeah, I mean, me as a person that's existing here, what's going to happen is gonna happen. And I'm just a human being existing, waiting for stuff to happen, because I guess that's just how it's gonna be happening. I don't know what's my point right now. So yeah, I mean, this is almost like an hour now. Like, I am, because sometimes I lose the ability to appreciate what I have. And let me tell you something. I have so much things to be appreciated of. Of course, I have my laptop that I use for gaming and all that. I have my own room with AC. Like, could I ask for more? My room has its own bathroom. I have my makeup. I have a big mirror. I even got like, yeah, I even got my clothes, my thrifted clothes. I had so much of those that it doesn't even fit my closet anymore. So, I'm just really grateful. I'm just real grateful of all the things. But sometimes it's okay not to feel like that because you're not gonna feel like that every single time. That also applies to every emotion. You're not gonna feel happy every single time. You're not gonna feel contented every single time. You're not gonna feel sad, angry, disgusted. What else? You're not gonna feel anxiety, boredom, and all that. Everything is temporary. And I think for me, I think the best thing to do is just let it pass, I guess. But something that I need, like, I feel like I need to be, or, I need to do and be, is to stay grounded. Because sometimes I don't stay grounded, that, like, like, just like my grandma, I wish that I could have spent more time with her. I could just go home and just hug her. I just miss my grandma so much, and, like, I don't want it to happen again with my mother. That, I could, everything I could do in that situation. I just don't want to feel like I regretted not doing that, you know, when it's the time that it should be doing that, but now it's too late. Those are regrets that we all don't want to happen. So yeah, I'm just trying to to be grounded in a way that I am here. I'm mentally here, presently here, physically here, spiritually here, and that I am living in the present. I need to feel like that every single day. Like, you know, anyway, for love, of course I want some love. I want, every relationship, romantic, sexual relationship, and all that. Those are things that I need, not want, you know? But not having it is not the end of the world. Maybe seeking it would just, you know, would just be kind of like bad, you know, unlike just letting it happen, let the chances, see what the chances are gonna, where it's gonna take me. So yeah, like, I'm already 22 years old. I'm going to be turning 23 next year, and I feel like it's it's like a quintessential part, or like a part of my life. And when I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna be turning 23 next year, it is the generalized feeling of other early 20s, that they feel like they've lost time. They feel like we feel like we've lost time. I just know that I am not alone with this feeling, where it feels as if, like, I'm not doing anything with my life. I'm not earning enough in my life. I'm not socializing enough. I don't have enough friends. I don't have enough sex. I don't have anyone with me. No one wants me. No one loves me. It feels like that. And, you know, and I just feel so isolated, so alone, so lonely. But that's not true. I have friends. I literally have Gab and Rissy. You know? Maybe it's different with everybody else, but you really have to assert. I really want to say this. You really have to assert your individuality. You have to prove. How would you do that? How could you do that? How could you assert individuality? You should know more than anybody else. You should know yourself more than anybody else. That's what I want to say. Okay? So when things, like situations that lead you to make a decision for yourself, you, out of all people, should know what's best for yourself, because you are the only one who knows yourself. That's like literally me. trying to stay grounded to me, because I am a very individually, like my what I mean is that I value my individuality so much that the cons is me being so isolated and all that. So yeah, so that is what I wish that every, like, the person that I would love and would love me should also be. I don't want them to be me, and I don't want that person to feel, I don't want to feel like I should be like that person that I like. Like, it's like, do I wanna be with that person, or do I want to be that person? Because it's not, it just turns into obsession if there is no gap, or there's no boundary of your individuality and their individuality. So if you can't if there's no boundary, then you're just gonna either stick or not stick at all, or you know both simultaneously. And I guess